Recognized two of the players at his rally Monday in Ohio and praised them for waving those flags. Let's talk more about this and welcome in senior policy analyst at the Independent Women's Forum and Newsmax columnist Patrice Leon-Wuka. Also back with us, executive director of USA Strong and Turning Point USA contributor Erin Elmore. Ladies, thanks for sticking around and thanks for coming back.
No, but unfortunately, social media has been taken over by a lot of people who will use anything that celebrates, recognizes our law enforcement as try to bash it.
Erin, does it send to these kids, it doesn't send the right message, I don't think.
And then you wonder why children don't have respect for authority and law enforcement. This is shameful and disgraceful. And this is another lesson of never bowing to the leftist mob. If you give them a finger, they will want a hand. If you give them a hand, they want an arm. They want your body. They want a pound of flesh. These people are not reasonable. They are bullies, and they will bully you into submission. Respecting law enforcement, honoring law enforcement is always appropriate. Law enforcement, for the most part, is honorable, and we want children to respect authority and have respect for teachers, elders, police, firefighters, our ladies and men in the military. This is absolutely disgraceful and shameful, and it's just another example of being scared into submission by the leftist mob.
All right, let's talk about something else here, Patrice. Is Alyssa Milano the queen of the Karens?
She's the queen of the hypocrites, I think. Alyssa Milano, let's just go back through some of her greatest hits.
That even if the police are defunded because she's rich and has a nice house, that the police are going to show up there. So she can call for defunding the police without having to worry about them not showing up.
Right, absolutely no repercussion. And I believe she took on an anti-gun demonstration a while ago with private armed guards. So her hypocrisy rings like a bell. Moreover, she shouldn't be called a queen of anything. She is a washed-up actress that has gotten herself involved in politics to make herself politically relevant. I think Rose McGowan here should be lauded and praised for actually stepping up and saying, look, you're being hypocritical here. Rose McGowan has also spoken out on Hollywood because she had a Me Too moment with Harvey Weinstein, and all the Democrats would talk about Me Too, believe all women, and she wasn't treated well. And you see pictures with Oprah, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton shaking hands and hugging Harvey Weinstein because he lines their political coffers. So in certain regards, she has spoken out against the Democrat hypocrisy and believing all women is something that they advocated for, but then when it isn't in their favor, they just stop. So all of this Hollywood elitism, the limousine liberals, the champagne socialists, I think it's really quite apparent where they stand and what they stand for.
They're called out on it all the time. And I should clarify here, no one's the queen of the Karens. Rose called her the leader of the Karens. So just want to make sure we're accurate. Great to see you both, Patrice and Erin. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Coming up, an Ohio mom is taking
the land of the free.
Transfer of power if he loses the election. Here's his response.
Well, we're going to have to see what happens. You know that I've been complaining very strongly about the ballots, and the ballots are a disaster.
I understand that, but people are rioting. Do you commit to making sure that there's a peaceful transfer of power?
We want to get rid of the ballots, and you'll have a very peaceful. There won't be a transfer, frankly. There'll be a continuation.
Independent Women's Forum and Newsmax columnist Patrice Leon-Wuka. Also back with us again, executive director for.
First of all, there's a lot of presuppositions here. I believe we're putting the cart before the horse. We have not had an election yet. November 3rd is the election, and as the polling is starting to indicate, it is closing in on Joe Biden. Republicans don't generally poll as well, so that would lead us to believe that the election is falling in the president's favor. So which transfer of power are they referring to?
Well, the hypothetical one, right? The one that is going to happen. I mean, Patrice, Mitch McConnell has come out.
Really slow down and wait till November 3rd.
Yeah, well, slow down would be some great advice for a lot of these folks, but they will never slow down. But Patrice, Mitch McConnell has already come out and said, look, we're going to have a peaceful transfer of power, whether it's in 20. This stuff has been stolen quite yet. Mitt Romney said this, quote, fundamental to democracy is the peaceful transition of power. Without that, there is Belarus. Any suggestion that a president might not respect this constitutional guarantee is both unthinkable and unacceptable. And everybody accepts that, except the Democrats. I mean, President Trump, as you indicated, Patrice, has clarified this a little bit. But there is this issue with the ballots, as you mentioned. Here's what President Trump said about his Supreme Court pick related to the election.
And I think this will end up in the Supreme Court. And I think it's very important that we have 9 justices. This scam that the Democrats are pulling, it's a scam.
Yeah, I don't think that's helpful at all.
But Erin, what do you think about the way President Trump framed the need to get this ninth justice on the bench so quickly?
I mean, he's constitutionally sound in his argument. Article 2, Section 2, Clause 2 of the United States Constitution, known as the Appointment Clause, for President to nominate a Supreme Court justice. Look, we know that the Democrats don't want this because they don't want President Trump to get 3 nominees. That's a third of the court. And they're also very upset about what happened with Obama's 2016 pick, Merrick Garland. But we can use the Democrats' words against themselves right here. Joe Biden himself has said, the American people deserve a fully staffed court of 9. Hillary Clinton, the president nominates and the Senate advises and consents. Nancy Pelosi, what we are seeing here is a disrespect for the Constitution. The American people expect the president to be given a fair hearing and a timely vote in the Senate. Schumer has said the same thing as well, and Ruth Bader Ginsburg herself, she said, refusing to vote on Obama's nominee should recognize that a president is elected for 4 years.
You know, one thing I wish, Patrice, that people... I'm sorry, Erin, I think your audio is cutting out a little bit. We'll try to get that corrected, but let's go to Patrice. Patrice, one thing I'd see you guys in the next hour. Thanks so much. Stand by until that happens. Coming up, the Rochester Police Department...
It's changing every day, every day.